some photos from our favorite island, Hilton Head Island, and bicycling. I've done many other bicycle pages, but I always like to do this. It's one of our favorite activities. And I'm going to use some papers. I've already pulled out quite a bit of product from a collection from Chamel called Go Now Go. And I've had this a long time, and I've used quite a bit of it, so I thought I'd do one more layout and kind of break this down. I have been breaking down collections and combining things. I keep stuff in these Sterilite drawers and trying to combine some stuff and get rid of things and move things out, use them, and get the rest of it either broken down by color and put in my color drawers or donated, because I'm doing more and more sewing. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to do paper crafting and things, but this room was heavily, the storage was heavily geared towards paper crafting, and I'm needing more room for my fabric and things, and I can do some combining and still have plenty of product to make scrapbook pages out of. I originally thought I might do this on a 2-pager, but I don't see any reason why I can't, trim these photos down a little bit and still make them work for a 1-page layout, or at least I'm going to try that. I also discovered in looking at these that I really should wear a helmet and sunglasses a lot more often because it makes my face look really thin. But I thought I had a good close-up picture, and the real focus of this story, though, is this photo, which is probably the one you can see the person the least, but it's the most interesting to me because several years, well, 3 or 4 years ago, they redid the bike paths. They're paths along the road where we stay, going in and out, and we can still use those, but they also have these paths that go through the trees, and one of them has this tall hill. Now, from where I'm standing and taking this photograph, you can't see quite how high that hill is and how much slope there is, but it's a challenge to get over that hill. And I've done it, but I don't bike over that hill that much. But I thought this would, my husband has to, get a good running start, and he really likes to go over that hill every single time that we bike down in and out, and then that's quite frequent. I do it occasionally, usually towards the end of the trip, because it pushes a little bit hard on my knees and stuff, and if I'm going to irritate something, I'm not going to do it the first day that I'm down there. And I think the last trip we made, I didn't even go over the hill at all. So that's the part of the story, is the little hill. And then there was something washed up on the beach on this particular trip, and so just some general beachy kind of photographs. This was not our most recent trip. The last couple of trips, I didn't even take any pictures bicycling. I think I took 1 picture this last time bicycling. So this is just sort of, kind of in general about biking on the island, and the wonderful wide beach that we have to bike on when the tide is low. So a lot of things that I can highlight here in this story. Now, the products that I have lots of I was looking for things that had the reds, blues, very true, pure colors in them, and that's why I pulled out this particular collection. This is not from that collection, but it's got stuck in that drawer because it was blue. So I'm going to look and see what I want to use, maybe a little bit of the stripe. I love to use stripes just in small pieces as an accent. I think that works very well with them. Maybe some of this blue, because again, this collection was called Go Now Go, so it was about travel, and this is supposed to be, I think, looking like a little roadway or something. That's what I interpreted it as, if it has a name on it. It says museum for the paper, but that's what I interpret it as. So I'm going to pull some things from this. I have some other 6x6 papers in another collection. Oh, and I have the map paper that I love, so we can do that. So we got a lot of fun things here to work with. Oh, where are my hearts? I have letters. I know my title's going to work out of these letters. I've already tried it out. I have enough letters. And I have these cute hearts that I got with the collection. So I really, at this point, need to figure out how I want to arrange these 4 photos and get them all on 1 page and still have room to show some of this product. So where's my solid? Here's a solid piece. I don't know that I'll do a green background, but since this is solid 12 by 12, we can play with it. So I want me facing the page in this one, and so it makes sense that my husband and I might be together on this. and here, and then this is where I wanted to have the title right next to this, because the title's going to be, I think I can, like the little engine that good. So, I don't know, maybe I might put us up on top. I see I can trim this one down. I can still show the wide beach and trim that one down, and I could really trim this some down because I don't really need to see the whole thing here. That's really not that critical. But I do want to show all of this photo. So I'm not going to have lots of room if I do this as a one-pager for product, but I'll probably do some strips of color behind these, have a place for the title and a little place for the journaling. Again, as I say, this is going to be a pretty full page, getting 4 photos on there. Now I could do something where I layered the photos, you know, and had like a flip up thing, but I just don't feel like that's really necessary. Especially just to show off product, because the journaling won't take tons of room, I don't think, and it can still fit on the page and be visible. I like interactive pages, but I like them for pages where you really want to dig into the story, and this one I can see us flipping through, and oh yeah, this is about going to the beach and bicycling and having some memories, and I don't really have to dig around for those. Those are kind of on the surface, and I feel like they just need to be on the surface of the page too. So I could spread it out to a 2-pager, but it's a close call when you have this many photos, and I think I'm going to try to keep it on 1 page. I don't think I want a green background for a beach page though, and I don't have anything else here that's a full size paper. So I will hit my cardstock up for a background page and then start pulling this page together.
When I cropped my photos down, I realized I could just do them in 2 rows, but I really want to divide this into 3 sections because I have the beach biking at the top, the story about climbing the hill in the middle, and then the area at the bottom. So I'm picking out some papers that I can put in strips across the page and just deciding which of those that I think looks the best with the photos. And by putting these 3 strips, I divide this in a little bit visually into 3 sections. When it's completed, the background papers do recede and you don't see it dramatically in 3 different parts, but it's still, to me, divided when I look at it. So at the top I have the beach paper pages, and then in the middle I have the climbing the hill, and the bottom I just have a good picture of the 2 of us, sort of a general biking picture. Now I'm going to use some of those more interesting printed pages, the stripe and that map print, as embellishments. I also found some map print from the island that I can use as embellishments as well, that I think will be a lot of fun. I have the I Think I Can picked out and ready to go on the page. It's glued on there now. And then what I did was go to my silhouette and I cut some arrows out of some of the really cool papers and just went ahead and gave them a mat. And I'm going to take some punches and punch out some of these maps and other things to make part of my embellishments. And I'm selecting areas of the map that are relevant to us, where we were actually biking that particular time on the beach, and where we frequently bike, that kind of thing. I also want to use some of these cute little hearts, and there's some different ones about journey and traveling and things that I can add on there. Those are sort of generic embellishments that I can use with a lot of different things. I started to put one up there next to my husband on the photograph to kind of draw attention to him, but I felt like it was in the way of that photo, so it looked better without that. For my journaling, I just typed it on typewriter and I'm cutting it into strips to casually appear along the bottom of the page. And hopefully that up arrow will direct the attention to him, and that's really what the story is about, because the rest of it is just sort of general biking. Now these days I can't seem to do anything without enamel dots, but they do finish a page, and I have a lot of them, so we'll go ahead and use those. And I decided to stick just with the color red, kind of tie everything together here a little bit. Now, I think I can. It's floating a bit there in the middle of the page to me. It needs something to anchor it. So I looked at some trim and stuff, and what I finally decided to do was washi tape. Now I have to be careful with the washi tape. I don't want anything that's really bold. So I thought I'd try out a little bit of yellow. And when I put this down, I realized I was committed, because when I started to pull it back up, it was going to tear the picture on the background. So I have yellow washi tape on there. And it's just to give it a little bit more of an accent. I probably should have put paper or something behind that. I think I can, to kind of pull it together. Or if I'd run the washi tape across and then put the letters on top of it, that would have probably been the best. But at this point, everything's glued down.
Okay, our page has some silhouette die cuts, accents from the collection that went with most of these papers, and of course my enamel dots that I've started using more and more, but I still have a lot of them, so it's good to be using some of that up. They made a commitment once I started putting that washi tape on, but it seems to be a good accent. I think because I used a yellow and not anything any darker, that it doesn't take away from the title. And then I have my very casually typed up journaling and some more personal accents with the map that came from the island. So this was a way to get all these things about bicycling that really are kind of different stories. Biking on the beach, the real story here of biking up the hill, and then just a general photo of the two of us. So it's really, I mean, any one of these could be a page. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the page today.